Hi, I'm Phil Rowley. This is my studio. Welcome to a Phil Talk with Phil Rowley. So, today we're going to look at the Alliant lesson plan template compared to templates from other colleges, as well as what 3 challenges I will face in teaching from this lesson plan template. So, I looked at 4 different lesson plan templates, from 2 of them coming from California State Universities, Sacramento State University and Fullerton, and then 2 out of state, Washington State and Southwest Minnesota. So what I noticed was that Alliant had a lot of things that these other templates didn't have. Alliant has a section that addresses what philosophies I'll bring into the lesson, as well as classroom management, which obviously is a huge part of teaching. Social emotional skills that will be addressed, and APA references. I found that the template for Alliant, in my opinion, is very complex and very, very detailed. What Alliant's template did not have, on the other hand, is a section for knowing the students. I feel like that's a very big one. I've been teaching private lessons for the last 10 years, and I think one of the big things that I found is what the students are actually interested in, what their goals are, why they want to take the classes, and none of that's being addressed. And I feel like that should be a really big thing. Just the whole relational aspect of teaching. Second thing is connecting from previous material so that there's a continuity between the ideas and building upon previous ideas. Third thing is a concise introduction, very short, brief introduction, just simply like the technology, for example, is mentioned multiple times throughout the template for Alliant. It's mentioned at each segment. And I think that if it were just only mentioned at the very beginning, that would make it much simpler. And an overall time right at the beginning, rather than just multiple segments throughout the lesson plan. The fifth thing is really flexibility. I feel like it's at 8 pages compared to SAC States, which I preferred actually SAC States. No offense, Alliant. But SAC States is around 1 page, and I think that's really great because if it's the lessons are scripted, the students are going to fill it and they're going to check out right away. And a teacher really needs to be flexible. They need to adjust on the spot. And if they need to throw something out, they can throw that out to get something that's actually working with the students at that moment. So the 3 elements that I will find to be a challenge in implementing the template into my teaching as I'm going into student teaching, I think it is the detail of hitting every little check mark. I'm a very creative person, as you could tell. This is a room that I've designed. Music's been a part of my life for the last 30 years plus. And I tend to teach more fluid than this. And I know that students, they can be one way one day and another way another day. And I have to be sensitive to that and flow with that. But I know that I also have to hit those checkpoints. The second area is, I think, time management. So I am actually a very detailed person, and I have a really great experience in music. A lot of education, a lot of a background. Been through conservatory and hold multiple degrees in music. And it's been a major part of my life. And so it's easy for me just to like shoot out like a fire hose at students and just keep going and going. Sometimes that's a great thing if the students are really into that. But obviously, if I have a clock where I have to be done by a certain time, that's going to be a challenge for me. I know myself. So I've dealt with myself long enough to know that. The third thing is to articulate how different outcomes are met. So I think this is a challenge in multiple ways because our culture doesn't value music the way that they do a lot of other subjects. And so I find that a lot of people aren't very fluent and they don't know a lot about music. So trying to communicate to them how different students are progressing is a challenge because every student has their own personality and their own way of being a musician. Although there's basic musicianship that everybody needs to meet, there's different personalities of musicians. Some are meant to be like more of the background players, and that's great because we need those. And some are the soloists. Some best play by ear. They're just naturally gifted that way. And some are better at certain styles than other styles. So to communicate that can be a little bit of a challenge for people who may not know about the subject matter. Looking over this whole assignment, I would say that one thing that came up was how to include the parents, because I think that a very big part of succeeding as a teacher and really producing with the students is being connected to the parents. I'm not sure how to implement bringing the family into the classroom, but that's my question for whoever's watching this video. Thanks.